A man reaches a deserted island in the South Atlantic and spends his first night fighting for his life. The creature attacking his cabin is not in any field guide. It has webbed hands, serrated teeth, and there are dozens of them. The year is 1914. The man has no name in the story, so we'll call him Friend, which is the only name he's ever given on the island. He's a young Englishman, 67 days at sea, heading to a remote weather station for a one-year posting. On the last day of the voyage, the ship's captain asks him what he's running from. Friend doesn't answer. The island has no birds. There's no weather officer waiting to hand over the post. The cabin where Friend is supposed to live looks abandoned for years. The captain thinks Friend should turn back. Friend refuses. They walk to the lighthouse together. It's crudely fortified, boards nailed over the lower windows, sandbags along the base. No one answers the door. They force it open and find an old man asleep upstairs. Gruner, the lighthouse keeper. When the captain asks about Aldor Vigeland, the previous weather observer who should be returning on the ship, Gruner says he died of typhus, went swimming one day, and never came back. The captain leaves. Friend moves into the cabin alone. In the desk drawer, he finds Vigeland's journal. The first pages are routine, notes on local plant life, tidal readings, a photograph of a woman in a wedding dress. On the back, Mrs. Vigeland, and the words, "Love, love, love." Then the journal changes. The entries get shorter. The drawings start. Strange creatures with webbed limbs and wide dark eyes, sketched over and over with increasing detail. The last entry reads, "Darwin was wrong." That night, something hits the cabin wall. Then again, harder. Friend approaches the door, and a scaled hand slides under it. He backs into the basement, ties the door shut, and listens to the things moving above him all night. In the morning, there's blood on the floorboards and strange footprints in the sand. Friend runs to the lighthouse and hammers on the door. Gruner opens a window and throws water on him. He tells Friend he should have stayed on the boat. Friend prepares the cabin for a second night. He seals the windows, rings the building with lamp oil and kindling, and loads a rifle. When the creatures come again, he shoots until his ammunition runs low, then throws a torch onto the oil ring. The fire scares them off. It also catches the cabin. Friend runs into the rain with a burned hand and spends what's left of the night sheltering behind beach rocks. By morning, the cabin is a shell. He has nowhere to go but the lighthouse. Friend follows Gruner to a freshwater fountain carved in stone. A message on the rocks reads, "Gruner owns this fountain." Friend is about to raise his rifle when the female creature appears from behind him. She growls and pins him to the ground. Friend overpowers her and points his rifle at her, just as Gruner appears. Gruner tells him not to shoot and that she is harmless. He demonstrates this by calling her over like a dog. She obeys. Friend offers to share ammunition and other supplies with Gruner if he lets him stay in the lighthouse. Gruner accepts. The lighthouse keeper is not a warm man, but he gives the Englishman a name. Friend. He makes the terms clear. Friend must earn his place in the lighthouse, or he's out. That night, the creatures climb the lighthouse walls. Gruner attacks them with a hatchet, methodically, without hesitation. Friend watches one die at his feet and passes out. Gruner is furious. He says he has no use for a man who can't fight. The following night, Gruner gives Friend a second chance. He takes Friend out to the balcony with a rifle, waits for the creatures to come, then steps back inside and locks the door. He leaves Friend on the balcony alone. In the morning, Gruner opens the door. Friend is covered in creature blood. He's still alive. A routine develops. By day, Friend does maintenance, collects water, and gathers whale bones from the beach to carve. By night, the two men take turns on watch, defending the lighthouse. Friend thinks about why he came to the island, to find peace in emptiness. Instead, he's found this. The female creature heals his burned hand with her saliva. Friend starts watching her more carefully. She has a name now, Aneris. He starts leaving food for her. Gruner notices and says nothing. One night, the two men get absorbed in a chess game and forget to light the torches. The creatures take the darkness as an opening. A wave of them hits the lighthouse, and Gruner takes a deep wound to the leg before they manage to barricade themselves inside. Aneris licks the wound clean. Friend and Gruner are running out of ammunition. They won't last the winter. Friend finds a necklace on the beach, bone beads, hand-worked, worn smooth. He says the creatures made it. Gruner tells him he's seeing what he wants to see. That same morning, friend spots a boat on the horizon and runs for a flare gun. Gruner tackles him before he can fire. Anaris growls at Gruner and forces him back. Gruner tells friend the boat wouldn't stop anyway. The lighthouse was built to divert government funds, not to guide ships. They're not on any commercial route. Later, friend finds the carved whalebone boat he's been working on and shows it to Anaris. She studies it, then leads him along the coast to a hidden cove. In the sand, a full-sized rowboat, old but intact. Friend goes back and tells Gruner. Gruner already knew. He says a Portuguese man survived a shipwreck on the reef and made it to shore in that boat. The creatures killed him. Gruner believes the sunken ship was carrying dynamite, but that it's almost certainly waterlogged. Friend has found an old diving suit in the lighthouse. He thinks they can salvage the dynamite and use it to destroy the creatures once and for all. Gruner refuses. He says it's a suicide mission. The next day, Friend starts repairing the rowboat anyway. He stops when he hears Anaris singing at the fountain and finds her there in the water. He takes his shirt off and joins her. Gruner watches from the lighthouse. The following morning, he throws the diving suit at Friend's feet and tells him he's changed his mind. They row out to the shipwreck. Friend suits up and goes under. The wreck is deep and dark, and the dynamite crates are spread across the seafloor. He ties them to a rope for Gruner to haul up. While he works, 2 juvenile creatures circle him, knock him down, and he burns through his air faster than planned. He pulls the distress signal 3 times. Tug, tug, tug. Gruner stops hauling. The air pump goes silent. Friend strips out of the diving suit on the seafloor and kicks for the surface. He climbs back into the boat without a word. Gruner has tried to kill him twice now. They return to the lighthouse and open the crates. Most of the dynamite is dry. It's enough. They bury 2 lines of charges around the lighthouse perimeter and wire them to a detonator. Then they wait. Winter comes in, snow falls. 3 weeks pass with no creature attacks. Gruner starts sleeping on the balcony with his hand on the detonator lever. One morning, Friend finds him nearly frozen, his fingers locked around the handle. Friend disconnects the wires. Gruner hits Anaris. He believes she's been warning the creatures away and that the lull is a trick. He decides to force a confrontation. That night, Friend stands at the open door surrounded by lamps, while Gruner takes Anaris to the balcony and makes her sing. A gust of wind snuffs out several of the lamps. The creatures move in through the darkness and pour into the ground floor. Friend fights his way upstairs. Gruner tries to blow the charges and gets nothing. The wires are still disconnected. Friend reaches the detonator and reattaches them. Gruner pulls the lever. The far line of dynamite detonates. A sound like a hammer hitting the island, then silence. Gruner pulls the lever again, over Friend's shouts, and the near line goes off. The lighthouse shakes. Both men are knocked out. In the morning, they walk the perimeter. Gruner finishes off the wounded with a harpoon. Friend can't do it. He's crouched over one of the dead creatures and found a bone necklace around its neck, identical to the one he picked up on the beach. Gruner takes it from him and throws it into the sea. That night, the creatures don't come. From the beach comes a low, sustained sound. Morning. Anaris is gone for the first time since Friend arrived. Gruner tells Friend that years ago, he pulled a creature from one of his fishing nets. Just a baby, tangled and dying. He freed it. She came back. She always came back, he says, no matter how he treated her. That's just how she is. Friend thinks about the man who built those stone circles on the beach. The man who drew those creatures with such careful detail. The man whose wife wrote, "Love, love, love," on the back of a photograph. The next morning, Friend walks the beach and finds the stone circles again. He places his carved whalebone boat in the center of one and backs away. A juvenile creature approaches from the water, investigates the gift, and picks it up. Then Anaris appears. She's standing fully upright, something she hasn't done before. And she looks at Friend differently, calmly, as if meeting him again for the first time. More creatures emerge from the surf behind her. Later that evening, a flare round hits the juvenile creature in the chest. Gruner is on the balcony, reloading. Friend runs back to the lighthouse and gets inside just ahead of Gruner's next shot. Gruner comes for him with an axe. Friend, lying on the floor, says, "Aldor Vigeland is not a murderer." Gruner stops. He says the words slowly. "Love, love, love." He sets the axe down. He opens the door and walks outside to face what he's done. And the sounds that follow are brief. The ending turns on one revelation. Gruner is Vigeland, the previous weather observer, the man whose wife wrote, "Love, love, love," on the back of a photograph. He survived the creatures, went mad from isolation and guilt, and reinvented himself as a permanent fixture of the island. Friend's final act is not to save him, but to remind him who he was. And Vigeland's choice to walk outside is the only thing he can still do that resembles the man in the photograph. Friend assumes the Gruner role when the next ship arrives, telling the captain the weather observer died of typhus, and stays on the island not because he has to, but because he knows he's no longer the man who left civilization either. Daenerys' leap into the sea at the end is the one clean exit the film allows. Cold Skin is a Spanish-French co-production directed by Xavier Gens, based on the 2002 novel by Albert Sanchez Piñol. The film was shot primarily on location in the Canary Islands. The creature design was developed practically with significant prosthetic work before digital augmentation in post-production. It was released in 2017 with a limited theatrical run and found most of its audience through streaming platforms in the years that followed. Reception was mixed at release, with critics divided over its pacing in the middle act, though the film developed a stronger following among audiences drawn to its creature feature and philosophical horror elements. If you enjoyed this recap, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help the channel. Thanks for watching.